When it comes to football video games, you probably have one name in mind: Madden. EA Sports' Powerhouse is the only NFL licensed game in town, so it's a little hard for other studios to crack the market. However, that's exactly what Natural Motion is trying to do with Backbreaker. It may not have licensed teams, but it does have Euphoria tech, the same technology that makes GTA 4's character animation look so good. However, is pretty animation the only thing this game has going for it, or is it a serious contender to Madden's crown? Let's take a look. I mentioned pretty animation before, and make no mistake, Backbreaker does well in that department. The physics are solid, players collide realistically, and other physical interactions are done well for the most part. Issues pop up when arm tackles become too prevalent and you notice your running back crumbling to a ball when he even touches another player. But the big problem is that the camera is locked behind your player, so you barely get to see any of these fancy animations. This perspective is meant to immerse you in the action, but it just comes off as annoying. Why would you want to hide one of the main selling points of the game? This problem also extends to replays. Load up a replay and you're given no camera options whatsoever. All you can do is watch from the same exact angle you had when you were on the field. Considering most every modern sports game has multiple camera angles, this is very disappointing. Since the game isn't licensed, you get 56 made-up teams. They're fine, if not a little weird. The fictional stadiums are actually pretty cool, and there's a pretty deep set of customization options. You can create your own teams, logos, and end zone designs. Unfortunately, you can't share your designs with other players. Major bummer if you just spend hours making the perfect logo. The atmosphere itself is also very vacant. The crowd has two emotions, happy or meh. And the same clip of POD's "Here Comes the Boom" happens at every kickoff. Here comes the... Every kickoff. The rest of the music consists of generic guitar riffs and there's no audio commentary. Like I said, it feels very vacant. The gameplay is very different from something like Madden. The behind-the-back perspective is certainly unique, but it also makes things much more confusing than it should be. During defense, you have to hold down a button to follow your assignment, but that can obscure the other players. When you're running fast, the camera zooms in, so you can't really see what's happening around you. Camera shifts from player to player are very jarring and abrupt. In other words, Backbreaker has a lot of problems. Modes include a configurable season that features the ability to scout made-up college talent, a fun minigame called Tackle Alley that throws waves of defenders against your runner, and a career mode of sorts called Road to Backbreaker. The career mode is a little weak sauce because it starts out as an 8-team league and it gradually becomes a 32-team league with no semblance of scouting to be found. I'd much rather have all teams from the start with the scouting mechanic included. There's also an online mode that features Tackle Alley and exhibition games. There was a little lag in our test, but Tackle Alley runs pretty well. Backbreaker could have been a good game, but it's held back by a lot of bad design decisions. Everything from the camera to the overall presentation needs a lot of work, and it feels like the game doesn't quite know if it wants to be an arcade game or a football sim. Either option is fine, but just pick one, guys! The arcade camera with sim-style gameplay just doesn't cut it. For more on Backbreaker, head over to IGN.com.